Hello everyone and welcome to the Social Q&A show. My name is Matt Kelly and here we are for episode number 5, which I'm pretty excited about because today the question is actually one that I work with every single day. So today's question is, what tools do you use to create micro content? Now, micro content are those little, like maybe it's like small images or small pieces of text that you see on popular social media pages, right? So brands will often create little pieces of interesting content. Maybe it's some text or a quote over a nice image or a beautifully designed piece of, literally just a piece of small content. So it's not a crazy long infographic, right? That is not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is just the simple, easy to share, just little tactical pieces of content. So we actually use a whole range of different tools to create interesting, engaging, relevant micro content. And the reason why we do that is because it is easy to share. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about just a few tools that we use on a daily basis here in the agency that enable us to actually get attention, to get heard, to get people to actually engage in what we're doing. So the first tool I wanted to talk to you guys about is actually something that's probably the most important thing when you're talking about micro content. It's Imagery, but it's specifically around photos. Now, you can take your own photos. If you're a very popular, very specific retail brand, you've probably got a lot of photos in your database ready to be used, right? What we do is we actually use a lot of stock photos because what we'll often do is have a stock photo as the background and then have a semi-transparent colored overlay over the top of it and then put text on that. So the text is really easy to read, but you still see that underlying hint of an image behind the post. So when we do that, there's a huge gamut of stock photo sites, but the one I love the most at the moment is one called Dollar Photo Club. So the idea is you pay a small subscription fee and then every single photo that you choose to download you literally get for $1 each, which is super cheap, and they're always really, really high quality. So I actually go there and browse photos for inspiration for content. It's not like I come up with all the content in advance and then try to find something for it. It's actually much easier for us to use it as inspiration. So Dollar Photo Club is my favorite stock photo site at the moment. The second thing I was going to talk about is like essentially what we do with contents, right? So once we've got, an image or we've got an idea for a quote or we know we want to put it together, we really need like some tools to do that, right? You can't just sort of have a photo and then type the text into the description and that's it, right? You really want to make something visual and something really engaging. So you can use any number of tools to create that imagery. On a daily basis, we actually use the Adobe Creative Suite. So we use Adobe Creative Cloud, we've got licenses there, and the team uses Photoshop, we use Fireworks for web graphics, we use Illustrator from time to time if we're doing something a bit more intricate or a bit more interesting when it comes from a design perspective. But that can be sort of at the higher end, and you could put an endless amount of money into Adobe as well, right? Like it's not a cheap platform to use, and if you're not using it all the time, it's often not particularly cost effective. So when we're not using Adobe Creative Cloud to do it, there's a bunch of other tools, but one I actually really like at the moment is called Canva, C-A-N-V-A. Now what's interesting about Canva is it's really an up and coming startup in the current environment. Guy Kawasaki just joined them as an evangelist to help them take Canva to market, but it's essentially a range of really interesting templates that you can use. So you can grab one of their existing templates, throw your image in the back, it might put a square or a circle or something over it, it's got text, like templates ready to go over the top, and it's all web-based, it's really easy to use. They just came out with an iPad app that makes it super simple. So if you're a social media marketer, social media manager, you do any kind of digital marketing, you really should know about Canva because it's a simple, easy way to start to get momentum on creating your own branded content. So that's interesting and it's pretty cool. We also use, and this is one that some people in the team previously used before joining the agency and had to really up the production quality, is they were using PicMonkey. Now PicMonkey is an even simpler version where it's like throw in your image, throw text on the top, or edit the image. It's all web-based, it's all really simple. So if you don't even want to be doing anything crazy, you literally just want to throw some text over the top of an image, PicMonkey is actually a really simple way to do that. So there you go, there's a shout out to those guys. Now, once we've sort of got this idea of having some content, sometimes we want to do some things with graphics, right? So you might want to create a sort of flow chart or map it out or add some interesting banners over the top of the content. One online resource that I love is called Media Loot. Now, Media Loot is an online platform. It's essentially like a a database or a catalog of visual elements or visual assets that you can use and download the source files of. So someone will have created an amazing certificate template, and you can literally download the source files, throw them into Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever you use, and start to just change it, edit it, change the colors, change the way it looks and feels. But someone's already done all that groundwork for you. So I use Media Loot all the time for things like posters or infographics or even website templates. So if you want to just create a website mock-up, there's so much that's already been created and it's super cost effective. I just pay a monthly subscription and it's really cheap and really easy to use. And like I say, like Dollar Photo Club, I actually go there for inspiration. So it's like, we've got this idea for a campaign. We want to roll out a whole bunch of content. What are other people doing? And Media Loot is an amazing place to start. So I love Media Loot. A couple more apps that are probably relevant right now. So I talked about Canva, that's an iPad app. Picstitch, really simple. So I've got a series of photos or a series of visual elements and I want to put them into one nice simple image that I can post on something like Instagram or even on my business Facebook page. Picstitch allows you to throw multiple photos into one and it will sort of help you organize it in a visual way. So you might have one big image and then a couple of small images down one side, or you might have any number of opportunities, right? They've got, I think, literally hundreds of templates in the Picstitch app where you can have sort of photos running diagonally down in one square. Really simple, really easy to use. It's next to nothing to buy the app and even to upgrade it to get a whole lot more templates, but it's an amazing simple tool. So I'm a big fan of Picstitch just because as an app, I can get content up in literally minutes. So that's quite powerful for us. And the final app I wanted to talk about today, and this is one that's probably a bit controversial because you wouldn't traditionally use this when creating micro content from scratch, but you may well use it as part of a social media marketing strategy, and that's Repost. So there's 100 different reposting apps where, say you're on Instagram and people are, posting content of them taking a photo with your product and they've hashtagged it, they've tagged you in it. You might want to reshare that photo. Now, historically, you could just take a screenshot of the photo. You could go on your desktop and you could, you could like screenshot it on your computer or save the image onto your computer. But Repost specifically is a really nice one because what Repost lets you do is actually adds a bar onto the photo, either vertically or horizontally, with giving the credit to the person who actually took and posted the original photo. So it adds their name over the top of the photo. Do you have to use this? Not necessarily, but I actually think it's a really positive way to give the credit to the person who took the photo for you, even though they're using your product in the photo. It's a way of saying thanks heaps for being part of the community and celebrating the fact that they did that for you, which is pretty valuable. So I'm a big fan of giving credit where credit's due. So Repost is actually a great app, and I love it because it's a really simple, beautiful design. So what we'll do is we'll link up all of the different links below in the description of the YouTube page. I hope that was somewhat valuable. They're just tools that we use frequently. We've got a range of different other social tools we use for monitoring and scheduling and outreach and all sorts of other things, but that's one for another video. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to tweet me at Matthew Kelly on Twitter. Make sure if you like this, you subscribe, and please feel free to leave comments below, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't, that's cool as well. But yeah, make sure you get in touch and let us know, because as long as people are enjoying watching it, we will keep creating. So that was the Social Q&A show. I'm Matt Kelly, and thank you very much.